The 2022-23 NBA MVP race is one for the history books. Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, all three superstars are currently in the most insanely close race for the MVP I've seen in a very long time. Now, before I get into the topic, I want to apologize for not uploading in a while. I haven't been feeling very good. I've been kind of sick. That's why I might sound a little different. And also just haven't found the right topic I want to talk about. But the MVP race is definitely heating up as of right now. One last thing, a large portion of y'all are not subscribed to the channel. If y'all enjoy the video, I'd appreciate it a ton if y'all went and subscribed. It would mean a whole lot to me. Now let's get into this MVP race. Nikola Jokic is trying to win his third in a row, his third of his entire career. Giannis is attempting to win his third, but his other two coming in 2019 and 2020. And Embiid is trying to win his first of his career. Nikola Jokic this season has been phenomenal. All three of these players are incredible talents, some of the best talents the league has ever seen. And this season specifically, Jokic has been averaging 25 points per game on 70% true shooting percentage, 12 rebounds per game, 9.9 assists per game, but I'm going to give him that 10. I'm going to round up. I've been rounding it for all the other stats, so I'm going to round up for Jokic. I'm going to say he's been averaging a triple-double. I mean, as literally as close as you can get. So 10 assists per game, all that while being the #1 seed in the Western Conference for majority of the season. Now, the thing about Jokic that has been projected a ton by fans as of late, and I'm not saying it's not well deserved or anything, is his below average defensive ability. A lot of people have been posting videos online like his game against the Spurs where he allowed, I think it was like a pretty crazy percentage at the rim that they were scoring on him, especially against the Spurs, who are, I think, the second worst team in the West right now. And, you know, people are just posting on subreddits, threads on Twitter, just Instagram posts and everything about Jokic's defense. It's become a real trend to pick on Jokic as of late, even though his defense has never been a strong suit of his. Just as of late, everyone's just been, you know, all over his defense, really. Now, I don't actually believe he's an awful defender. I don't think everyone else believes that too. I mean, some people probably do, but I don't think he's an awful defender like some people are trying to make him out to be. But he's definitely the worst of the three candidates. In my opinion, I think he's like an average to below average defending center. But the thing is about being a starting center in the NBA and your backup is Thomas Bryant, who is an awful defender, you have to hold down that paint pretty well to have a really good defense. And with Jokic not even really a good defender, which honestly, in my opinion, the center position is where you need your best defender to be at. That's the most important defending position because it's like your last line of defense. If a perimeter defender allows someone to get by him, at least you'll have the center in the paint to lock up. And Jokic can't really do that for the Nuggets. And like I mentioned before, his backup is Thomas Bryant, who's most definitely not doing that for the Nuggets. And when you watch the Nuggets play, teams intentionally attack Jokic, whether it be on the pick and roll, getting switches on him where he's one-on-one with someone. They just attack him one-on-one, like bringing him out to the perimeter and drive past him or something. Or just driving in the paint constantly when he's already there. I mean, he's not the type of big to swat a shot away. The thing about Jokic though is he is a big body and he's not going to get back down in the paint very easily. Especially in the post, he'll position himself very well in the paint to contest layups, get rebounds, but he's not going to send shots away. He's not going to block many shots. And he's not going to really jump that high to contest shots either. He's going to kind of stand there and use his length. And majority of the time, that's not going to lead to a missed layup or a missed dunk or something. Now, does his inability to play defense outweigh his incredible offensive game? No, obviously not. His offensive game is argued to be the most efficient and effective in the entire league. He might be the best playmaker in the entire league as well, and add on top of that, he's almost shooting 40% from the three-point line and has a beautiful touch at the rim. So with Nikola Jokic, it's you have to pick his incredible offensive game that'll make you one of the best offenses in the entire league, but you also have to have his pretty average to below average defense, which will not be sending a lot of shots to the stands or anything. And the thing about the Nuggets is it's pretty late into the season, and it doesn't really seem like they've figured out a way to hide Nikola Jokic on the defensive side of the ball, which is pretty worrying come playoff time because you know teams are going to attack him. But Nikola Jokic's offense is some of the best we've ever seen in the NBA with his amazing playmaking, his ability to shoot from anywhere, his post play, his ability to literally be in the post and pass behind his back to the other side of the court to the three-point line or something, his ability to literally football pass it across the entire court to somebody. It's just insane, Nikola Jokic's offense. Now on to Giannis, he is averaging 31 points per game on 60% true shooting percentage, 12 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, and of course, in my opinion, the best defender between these three candidates for MVP. He might be the best defender in the entire league. He's even won a Defensive Player of the Year before, back in 2020, I believe. And literally can guard the 1 through 5 at an elite level. He can keep up with guards, forwards, centers, block shots at the rim, get steals, deflections. He can keep up with fast guards. He can do literally everything defensively. And of course, he has the elite level offensive dominance with his ability to cause defenses to completely collapse on him in the paint, and him being able to either score on them, dunk on them, hit little mid-ranges on them, or kick it out to his shooters. Joe Ingles, Grayson Allen, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, and they'll knock something down. All off of Giannis's insane paint presence offensively. Now, just like Nikola Jokic has weaknesses on defense, Giannis does have weaknesses on offense though, with his inability to really shoot that 3-ball very well consistently throughout the whole season. And you know, his mid-range, it's pretty good, but it's definitely not some Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Paul, DeMar DeRozan type of mid-range where it's just buttery smooth. Giannis does definitely have his inefficiencies with his shooting and everything, but everything else, that man is arguably the best in the league at. Giannis is also without a doubt the best winner out of the three candidates, having the best record not only between the three candidates, but the best record in the entire league. And that most definitely has to count towards something when it goes into MVP voting. Especially when you look early on in the season, with the Bucks, when they were more banged up and everything, Giannis was the most consistent player there, playing through it all, and he was winning games for them, putting up monstrous numbers. Going to Embiid, this man is averaging a league best 33 points per game on 65% true shooting percentage, 10 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game, while being a fabulous defender. Not as great as Giannis in my opinion, but Embiid is someone you can definitely rely on to get stops in the paint. And even he can somewhat keep up with faster and smaller guards, not to the extent of what Giannis can do, but Embiid, if someone blows past him in the perimeter, he can most definitely recover and send that shot right back at him. He's just a fabulous defender, being able to send shots away all the time, being able to, you know, be a big body in the paint, at the same time also sending shots away. I believe he's on a streak, if I'm not mistaken, of 5 games in a row of at least having 3 blocks each game. Now, obviously not all of defense is just getting blocks the whole time, but Joel Embiid is definitely getting them blocks, and he's also playing just good defense in general. I'd also say he's a pretty underrated playmaker and decision maker. A couple years back, I'd probably disagree with that statement actually. I wasn't really a fan of how Embiid handled double teams and stuff back then, but as of late, especially this season, he's been phenomenal at it, being able to really identify when double teams are coming in the paint, perimeter, post up, and be able to kick it out real fast to the point where shooters are being able to just let it fly as soon as he gets them the ball, being wide open. And it's just really fun to see. Obviously, his playmaking isn't to the level of Jokic. Jokic might be the best playmaker in the entire league, but Embiid is definitely not far behind being a good playmaker for sure. Another thing about Joel Embiid that really does put him over the top is the fact that he might be, out of the 3 MVP candidates, him included, he might be the only one to truly have no major flaws in their game. His defense is great, his rebounding is great, his playmaking is great, his scoring ability, don't even get me started with that. His ability to get to the free throw line, which is a skill in itself. He can really shoot from anywhere as well. His post-up game is incredible. He can spot up and shoot. He can shoot mid-ranges, finish at the rim, dunk on you. He's just literally flawless in his game. Now, he might not be the best at each category, but he's definitely great at all of them. Now, as of right now, the 76ers and Bucks both do have a higher winning percentage than the Denver Nuggets, but the Nuggets are first out west, while the 76ers are just third in the East, but the Bucks are still first. So if you want to go by seeding, the Nuggets and Bucks, which is Giannis and Nikola Jokic, do have the upper hand on Embiid, but Embiid does have a higher winning percentage than Jokic, but that's all just team winning percentage. If you want to just go by individual stats, then that stuff doesn't really matter. And if you're interested on what the team records are without their MVPs, the Bucks are 9-6 without Giannis, the 76ers are 9-4 without Embiid, and the Nuggets are actually 3-5 without Jokic. Now you can do whatever you want with that information, but the facts are the facts. The Nuggets are the only ones on here that have a negative record without Jokic. Now let's go into some recent statistics for these guys and recent stuff that's been going on with the 3 MVP candidates. The Nuggets are not really playing good basketball, if we're being 100% honest. Going 1-5 in their past 6 games, losing to teams such as the Spurs, the Bulls, the Raptors, the Nets. And that's no disrespect to those teams, but they're nowhere near the same level as the Nuggets. And all those games, they had Jokic and everything, and they still lost. And especially to the Spurs, that's embarrassing to lose to a team that I think is the second worst team in the West right now. Now, to be fair to Jokic, he isn't playing bad these past 6 games, but it's the fact of winning, that how much winning does matter for MVP, at least for most cases. Jokic isn't really proving that he can win right now, only going 1-5 and losing to pretty bad teams down the stretch of the season in probably the most important basketball of the regular season so far. Now, on the other hand, recently for Philadelphia, they've been on an 8-game winning streak, and in that streak, Joel Embiid has been monstrous, averaging 36 points per game on 73% true shooting percentage, 9 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game, and 2.6 blocks per game, and shooting 48% from the 3-point line. This man Embiid has been efficient, dominant in both sides of the ball, and just been winning like it's insane how much great basketball is being played in Philly right now. And even this past game was without Harden, they still won by a big margin, and he didn't even play in the 4th quarter against the Pacers. And Embiid has also scored 30 or more in 9 straight games for the 76ers, passing Wilt Chamberlain and Allen Iverson for the most games in a row scoring 30 or more in franchise history, not in NBA history, but in franchise history, passing Allen Iverson and Wilt Chamberlain. That 9-game streak of at least 30 also ties Embiid with Luka for the longest streak this season. And the last center to have a streak of 9 straight of 30 was Shaq in the 2000-2001 season. Embiid is having a Shaq type of season in modern day basketball. This man, it's really close, but he is starting to really win people over on getting that MVP votes. And in about 5 of those 9 games as well, he didn't even play the 4th quarter, including the one that just happened today versus the Pacers. He's playing such dominant basketball, he doesn't even need to play in the last quarter because the Sixers are always up so much because of him. Embiid has just been on another level of basketball. And while some people have made this MVP conversation into just really a 2-man race, we cannot forget about Giannis Antetokounmpo. This man has the Bucks in the past 24 games going 21-3, and in that 24-game stretch there was a huge 16-game winning streak where I made even a video about it when it was 12 games. It even went on longer. That 16-game winning streak was insane. And not going into the 24-game winning streak, more of just the last 7 games for Giannis, he has averaged a crazy 32 points per game on 63 true shooting percentage, 11 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, and has been shooting 43% from the 3-point line, and him and the Bucks have went 5-2 in the last 7 games. Giannis is playing dominant basketball as usual, and king of the 4th quarter, Kenny, shout out Kenny, one of my favorite basketball YouTubers out there for sure. He worded this very well in his video a couple days ago. I was watching it. The thing about Giannis is they are kind of treating Giannis like how they did with LeBron back in the day, where he won his MVPs, but it almost got to a point where, I don't know how exactly he worded it, but he said somewhat on the lines of, like, we're kind of already expecting this from Giannis. Like, this is kind of the norm for Giannis, or at the time, back then it was LeBron. We kind of expecting this from LeBron. He's already won his MVPs, so we kind of want someone new now. So Giannis is having an MVP type season, but the voters are kind of looking for a new face, someone new to vote for. Because Giannis has been doing this, but it's just been so dominant over the past few years, they just want someone else now. And he was basically saying how Giannis is getting like the LeBron treatment. The Bucks are also the best team in the NBA as of right now, which in my opinion, when you look at MVP, that is a lot of the time what's like one of the leading factors for who is the MVP of the year. Who is the best player on the best team That's who you look at a lot of the time. Giannis has just been incredible, doing it on both ends of the floor at elite levels. This MVP race has one for the history books without a doubt, and to all the NBA fans watching, before you make your choice on who you think the award should go to, wait till the end of the season. Like, give these guys a chance to finish off the regular season. That's why I'm not really giving my definitive pick who I would vote for if I had a vote, who I would vote for MVP. That's why I'm not really saying who my definitive pick is, because it's so incredibly close. We still have a couple weeks of basketball left. Let's let these guys finish off, because, you know, you never know how fast the NBA changes. We might see next week, we might think it's Giannis. This week we think it's Embiid, like I do right now. Last week, or like 2 weeks ago, I thought it was Jokic. The NBA changes so much, it's so fast paced. It just changes all the time. So let's give these guys the regular season to finish it off, and then give our picks. I'm just kind of stating off how crazy close it is and how incredible these guys have been playing. And also be open-minded to other players being MVPs. Don't have your pick like, I think it's Giannis, and maybe Embiid is showing himself how he's easily the MVP or something like that, and you're still close-minded saying, no, I still think it's Giannis. Be open-minded to the other players possibly being better than your original pick, and, you know, don't be in complete denial like someone else can pass up your original pick. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button down below, subscribe button, notification bell, so you can be notified as soon as I upload. And if you agree, disagree, or you're on the fence with what I'm saying, put it down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. This MVP race is insane. I would love to have a conversation with y'all on who y'all's picks are, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.